Sturdy and scrumptious is how I describe this lentil shepherd's pie. Lentils, mushrooms, carrots, and celery make up the tasty base. Top it off with fluffy mashed potatoes and serve it with a savory vegan gravy for the perfect comforting meal. We've made it to part 3 of our Easter special, and I am making a flavorful lentil shepherd's pie that can be prepared in 1 hour, and it can be made even quicker by making a few elements ahead. I'm Catherine, and I already smile quite a bit, but you can put a smile on my face by hitting that subscribe button if you're new here. 2 things you can make ahead for this recipe are the lentils. I'm using 3 cups cooked lentils, and I often make this with lentils that I've previously cooked and had frozen. You could also make this with canned cooked lentils if you prefer. And the second is the mashed potatoes. I usually make my mashed potatoes the day before, and that cuts down on the workload. And I find that shepherd's pie in general is a great meal to make when you have leftovers. This particular one was born out of our holiday leftovers when I had more mashed potatoes I knew what to do with. We had some cooked lentils and some roasted vegetables. So I threw them all together and a flavorful lentil shepherd's pie was born. If you are cooking green lentils from scratch, add 1.5 cup dry lentils to a pot with 4 cups of water. Bring to a boil, lower to a simmer, cover, and cook for 20 minutes or until the lentils are tender. Drain the excess water and salt the lentils if desired. To make the mashed potatoes, peel 2.5 to 3 pounds yellow or russet potatoes. Usually about 6 larger potatoes for me. Chop your potatoes into larger pieces. If they are chopped too small, they will take on too much water as they boil, and that will affect their taste. Add the potatoes to a large pot, cover with water, and add 1 teaspoon salt. Bring to a boil and boil with the pot lid partially on for 10 to 15 minutes until they are fork tender. Drain the water and mash them up with 2 tablespoons vegan butter and 1/2 cup to 1 cup soy milk. You can, of course, cook your mashed potatoes while you prepare the base for your shepherd's pie, and for that base you will need 1 medium onion, 6 cloves garlic, 275 grams chopped mushrooms, 1.5 cups carrots, 3 ribs of celery, your 3 cups of lentils, and the seasonings: tomato paste, tamari, vegan Worcestershire, fresh thyme if you have it, and almond flour. Because of the shorter cooking time of this recipe, I like to chop my carrots and celery quite small so that they aren't too crunchy. Add 1/2 tablespoon oil or a dash of water or broth to a large sauté pan. Cook the diced onion for 2 to 3 minutes until softened and fragrant. You can add a little salt and pepper here and there when you add in more of the ingredients to keep them nicely seasoned. Add the minced garlic and cook for another 30 seconds to a minute. Add in the chopped mushrooms and let them cook, stirring periodically for 5 to 8 minutes until they are softened. Add in the finely chopped carrots, celery, and 2 tablespoons tomato paste. Give it a stir and put the lid of your pan on if possible. This will help the veggies steam and cook a little more. Cook for another 5 minutes. Meanwhile, roughly mash your lentils. I find that this helps the shepherd's pie hold together and gives it a nicer texture. After 5 minutes, add in the roughly mashed lentils, 2 tablespoons tamari or soy sauce, 1 tablespoon vegan Worcestershire or more tamari, and 1 teaspoon fresh thyme leaves if you have them. Sprigs of thyme freeze really well, so I always have some in my freezer. Or you can add in a dash of dried herbs. Cook everything for another 2 minutes to combine all the flavors, and finally stir in 1/3 cup almond flour. I like my shepherd's pie to hold together so that I can cut and serve nice sturdy pieces and then serve it with a gravy that you can pour over top and get that nice warm ooey loveliness. The almond flour in this recipe really helps to bind the lentils and vegetables, but you can omit it if you like. If you need a nut-free option, you could try ground oats or breadcrumbs in its place. If you like a softer shepherd's pie, then you can add some broth or gravy to this cooking stage, and that way the base will stay nice and saucy and loose. To compile your shepherd's pie, spread that lentil base into a large casserole dish. This one is 13 by 9. Pack it down slightly and top it with those fluffy mashed potatoes. If you have made your mashed potatoes in advance, I like to heat them up and add a bit more milk to get them nice and fluffy again. If both the base and the potatoes are warm, they will heat up evenly in the oven. Bake the lentil shepherd's pie at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes, then increase the heat to 425 for an additional 10 to 15 minutes to help get some nice browning on the top. This savory vegan gravy is so easy. It's ready in 15 minutes. And if you're serving the shepherd's pie for your holiday meal, then you can start with a soup or salad and have these flaky vegan biscuits I made for you in our previous video. And all these recipes are linked below for you. I've got you covered. And you're lucky we still have biscuits left. These are our last ones because they're so good. This lentil shepherd's pie serves 6 and costs us just over $11. That's roughly $1.85 a serving. The lentils and mushrooms in this recipe cost us around $3.20 versus at the very least $5 for a pound to a pound and a half of ground beef. So leave me a comment down below and let me know if you try any or all of our Easter recipes, the carrot cake, the biscuits, and the shepherd's pie. And please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We have a new video for you every Sunday at 5, and next Sunday we are bringing a fun family-themed video to you, and I am testing 2 vegan bloggers' recipes for the famous Portuguese custard tarts pastéis de nata, and I'm going to bring them to my Portuguese grandparents, my avô and avô, and they'll give you their opinion on how the vegan versions stack up to the original. It's going to be a fun one. I'll see you then.